So the second Dawson Wam Formula Ford 1600 race with Formula Sheane is about to get underway. It's Ivor and David McCulloch on the front row for the Formula Fords this time around after their 1-2 finish in race 1. Will Heron wasn't far behind in the first race though, and will no doubt be looking for another race victory, whilst the Sheanes put on a fantastic show in that first encounter. More of the same this time, hopefully. Well, a slight change this time to the grid as well. The Sheanes this time start behind the Formula Ford, so it's Ivor and David McCulloch row 1, with Alan Davidson and Will Heron next. Then David Nicol and Alan McBurney with Henry Campbell and Robert Johnston right behind. Jim Campbell and Phil Harris will once again round out the 10 Irish Formula Ford 1600 runners. Richard Carney on pole position in the Sheanes after his race 1 win ahead of Brian Herty. Then Paul McLaughlin and Derek Roddy. Ray McKenna and Sean Hines looking to bounce back from his disappointing finish, with Joe Courtney at the back. Right then, ready to go racing for the second and final time this weekend with the Dawson Wam Irish Formula Ford 1600s. And hand out to the cockpit there for Will Heron. Let's hope he hasn't got a problem. The lights go out, away go the Formula Fords. The Sheanes will have a delayed start. This is to try and reduce the amount of intermingling that we had between the classes. Entertaining as it was in race 1, it did rather play havoc with some of the championship battles. Now the Sheanes are released. Carney appears to have held on to the race lead. At the front of the Formula Fords, it is Ivor McCulloch ahead of David McCulloch, ahead of Alan Davidson. It's the top 3 on the grid. Still the top 3 in the race. In fact, the top 4, I think you can make that, because Will Heron appears to have got off the line okay in 4th position. Through right-hander at Fisherman's they go for the first time, single file. And as is often the case in Formula Ford racing, the start is actually less hectic sometimes than the finish. The drivers well and truly understand that they don't have to win the race on the first lap, but Alan Davidson very nearly threw it all away on the opening lap there with a big grassy moment coming out of the Crossley chicane. He was fully airborne there, and that allowed Will Heron through. He'll have felt that in his spine as well, I'm sure, as he bounced his way back onto the road. So let's hope that car's not sustained any damage there, but it seems to be okay. So continuing in 4th place, move on the inside there for the 90 car, Henry Campbell, towards the back of the Formula Ford field. As they streak across the line at the end of the opening lap, then through Debtor's Dip, down towards Colonial for the second time. Already the little pockets of activity starting to appear. Not a great start from Henry Campbell, I don't think, because he was sort of further beyond than that in race number 1, so he's got some work to do now to try and catch back up to the drivers with whom he was racing in the opening encounter. They head towards the far end of the circuit now, though. Back down towards the John Crossley chicane, and there in amongst it all is the number 16 car. That's Jim Campbell. Jim Campbell in his Mondial, 1986 version of the Mondial there. Works his way now down the back straight once again. The leaders turn into the hairpin, still the same order, I think. Yeah, Ivor ahead of David McCulloch, then Heron and Davidson, then side by side for 5th position, is it? And on the inside is going car number 12 to try and make ground up. That was Alan McBurney, who's looking even better in this race than he was in race number 1, to 5th position now. The Formula Ford streak back through again. Top 4 still pretty close together here. Then Will Heron showing his pace here. As I said, he knows this track pretty well anyway, as a regular competitor in the Irish Championship, having also raced in the National Series this weekend. He'll have done probably more laps of this place than he'd care to remember this weekend. Try and use that now to challenge maybe for a race victory in the Formula Fords. That would be nice. A trying weekend for Will in the national side of things as well, so he'll be definitely keen to try and move on from some of his issues earlier on in the weekend to round things off in style. But as I said that, he pulls off with his hand out of the cockpit. Now, we saw him raising a hand on the grid, and I wonder whether or not there is some sort of underlying issue there. Clearly there is, because he's slowing right down, and Will Heron, I think, is not going to pit, I don't think, but he's certainly not running at full speed, so it is an intermittent issue. Some electrical, maybe, possibly a misfire or a fuel pickup issue, maybe one of those things, but Heron, off the pace, unfortunately, drops down into 4th position. That's a real shame, because he was promising good things from this race. Now, this is the sort of intermingling that we were hoping to avoid in this race, but the Sheanes have caught the back of the Formula Ford pack, and it looks as though it is the race 1 runner-up, Brian Harty, that's got himself out in front now in the Sheanes. And there, the orange machine of Richard Carney, race 1 winner, down in 2nd place, gets a bit sideways. Sean Hines is up into 3rd place, looking at the green machine. red car between them is a Formula Ford, so that's third place in class for Shaun Hines, but of course they're now starting to pit their way up the overall order as well. Once they clear some of the older Formula Fords, though, they should then have themselves some clean air, and it's doubtful that they'll be able to catch the overall front runners, making pretty short work of some of these cars towards the back of the Formula Ford field. Inside they go, Richard Carney trying to execute a manoeuvre here on David Nicol, which he does. Possibly allows Alan McBurney actually to get a run on his Formula Ford sparring partner, yet then we're side by side into Debtors Dip. Clockton goes through further back. And Shaun Hines also trying to scythe his way through. We know he's good on the brakes into Colonial. And once again, he displays that braking prowess and dives to the inside of Alan McBurney and David Nicol at the same time. Burney now actually has a little look at the inside of Nicol into Fisherman's, but to no avail. He was just a bit too far back there to complete the manoeuvre. Into the chicane, and these two who did battle, remember, in race number 1 and finished this way round with Nicol ahead of McBurney. McBurney will be keen to try and get back through if he can. That's not going to be the work of the moment, I don't think, because they're clearly very evenly matched cars. So too are the Sheanes, of course, who are dicing away once again now for the lead of the race. Richard Carney trying to find a way back ahead of Brian Harty. The red machine, Brian, though, hangs on, but Carney's quicker off the hairpin. A bit more speed down the straight, tucks into the slipstream to try and get even more straight line speed, then pulls out again at the end of the straight and looks to try and go around the outside into Debtors Dip as he made that one work. Risky move there to make, but he hasn't been able to do it, so still the red machine of Harty in front. Now catching the ailing Will Heron, who is now, I think, possibly about to pull off into retirement, because that car is going even more slowly now than it was before, so Will Heron's day may well be done now. Yeah, pulling right out of the way of McLaughlin and the Formula 4 battle there between McBurney and Nicol, so Will Heron, unfortunately, looks like he can't get back to the pit lane, but that's as far as he'll get. His race appears to be done. That's a real shame for definitely potential race winner, certainly podium finisher in the Formula Ford element of the race. Was lucky in a way to miss out on a podium in race number 1. Right then, now the Sheanes have got themselves a little bit of breathing room. There are no Formula Fords around them, no traffic in front, no cars behind, so they're free to just focus on racing each other now, probably for the rest of the race. So too, of course, are our 3 Irish Formula Ford leaders, who are still as close as ever they were. Ivan McCulloch, David McCulloch and Alan Davidson, the order. Ivan McCulloch not able to escape, but nor is David McCulloch seemingly able to attack him. David might be happy to settle into second place here, though, I guess, because Alan Davidson... Ooh, puff of smoke there, was that from the Ivan McCulloch car? Probably slightly concerning. But Alan Davidson is definitely going to be David McCulloch's priority here. He needs to stay in front of that Mondial. Into the hairpin, though, it's very close, and the Mondial looking for a better exit there, trying to get the speed across the start-finish line, but it's still almost banging wheels as they come across the start-finish line now, and Davidson does have a run, but surely that Van Diemen will have the edge in a straight line. They're pretty much wheel-to-wheel, though, into Debtors Dip. Will Davidson go right round the outside? He's going to try it. No, can't do it. And so David McCulloch holds on to the position. And this is now starting to just allow Ivan McCulloch to make a break. Now, if Ivan can break the toe and get sort of 3/4 of a second or so in hand over these guys, then that will make his life an awful lot easier as we go into the rest of the race, because he won't have to worry about them slipstreaming back onto his tail. And as I've sort of alluded to, David McCulloch's probably going to be more concerned with keeping Davidson behind than going after his brother. Alan Davidson takes so much curb through that chicane, but it really works. And he really carries good speed onto that back straight. I'm concerned, though, about the amount of smoke coming from the back of Ivan McCulloch's car. The last 2 laps in a row, I don't know whether it's just bottoming out on a bump out of the chicane, but it was the same spot of the circuit on both of the previous laps that I've seen it. Top 3 in the Formula Fords going through, followed some way back by the top 3 in the Sheanes, and Richard Carney is trying to make a move here around the outside for the lead of the Formula Sheane class, but he's got to watch out for Shaun Hines behind him. 3 for the lead then, and Carney right round the outside. Wasn't able to complete the manoeuvre. He pulls back to the right-hand side of the road now, which is, again, though, the outside line at Debtors Dip. Nothing to choose between the 3 of them, really, as they come past us once again into the first corner. Carney just can't seem to prise this door open. Brian Harty is able to place his car exactly where he needs to. He's not driving as quickly as he could do, because he's driving defensively, but that's working at the moment. Again, he drives to the inside line into Fisherman's. Carney just takes a bit too much curve in the middle part of the corner. That slows him down on the exit, and now immediately, look, he has to defend. This is always the danger when you're the middleman, when you're the meat in the sandwich, and there's a car in front that you're trying to attack and a car behind you're trying to defend from. You can't do both to the best of your abilities at the same time. You can only really focus on one, and now he's having to watch his mirrors more than he's watching what's going on in front of him, is Carney. Driving down the inside of the road into the hairpin. Sean Hines tries, invade, I think, to go around the outside of him. Out of the hairpin, still in the same order. Hardy from Carney from Hines, your top three in the Formula Shades. Black and white warning flag being shown to somebody for exceeding track limits, we imagine. I think it was one of these three, because the flag was then withdrawn as they came through. So, not sure who it is that's being told off for using too much of the circuit than they should be. It's only a warning at this stage, no time penalties coming. Into Fisherman's then. Fascinating battle this, because it does look as though arguably Carney is quicker than Hardy. We just can't get past him. Through the right and the left of the Crossley chicane. Who gets the best exit this time around? Fairly equal, I think, but Carney's definitely picking up a slipstream. Just tries to jink to the inside, but Hardy's always going to defend that, so that leaves Carney with no option but to go to the outside, which then, in theory, leaves the door open for Sean Hines to get up the inside of him, but Sean had no interest in going up the inside, and instead took an even wider line into the hairpin. It's Carney that's quicker off the corner than the other two, though. He's definitely looking like the man most likely to make a move. It's just not coming easily here. Debtors. Flat out left-hander, fairly easily flat out, I imagine, in these cars, but that doesn't mean that it's an easy corner. Really hanging on for dear life through that left-hander. Through Colonial into Fisherman, and once again, defensive line being taken by Hardy, but this is just backing Carney up into Sean Hines. It's going to be massively frustrating, this, for Richard Carney. He just cannot get through. If he could get through, he probably feels like he's got the pace to pull away, but it's just not happening. Slightly wayward line there for him through the chicane as well, so didn't carry quite as much speed as he would have liked down the back straight. But look at them, the three of them almost as one as they head into the hairpin once again. Carney to the outside, Hines to the outside as well. They fan out into three distinctively different lines. At that time it looked as though Hardy was in danger of outbraking himself, but just got the car slowed down in time. Carney is quicker off the turn again though, gets back in the slipstream. But it's sort of situation normal, he's just not been able to pull fully alongside where he really wants to. This battle is still raging, by the way. Alan McBurney still struggling to get past David Nicol. As I said, this was the order in which they finished in race number 1 as well. They are not joined in this race by Henry Campbell. Henry Campbell has dropped back a little way in this particular race, but was never really able to escape with him. You can see him there in the background, the red machine, ahead of the next little trio. McBurney here to try and get another position if he can. Gets a good exit from the chicane. It wasn't a good exit at all for David Nicol, and I don't know whether he missed a gear or something there, but in the end it was made fairly easy for McBurney, and he has been able to pull through. So McBurney up one more place, and that will, I think, put him 4th in class actually, because with the demise of Will Heron, there are only 3 more Formula Fords in front of them, so this is a battle of some significance then for positions within the top 5, and it's McBurney that moves himself past Nicol now. Through the far end of the track once again, down into the chicane, and slightly less curb taken by these guys than some of the outright front runners, but I guess you'd imagine that really, with these cars being a little bit older, a little more fragile maybe. Bit more breakable, so they have to treat them with that little bit more respect as a result. So Derek Roddy, I think, just in front of them in his blue Formula Shane, so he's not a factor in their particular battle, but he's not much quicker than them actually, despite having overtaken them a couple of laps ago. He's not raced away from them exactly. So they head down into Debtors Dip, into the closing stages of this 15-minute race. 15-minute plus 1 lap race anyway. And flashing across the start-finish line, it's really get a sense of the speed these cars take with this camera angle over the side of the pit wall. Here is the battle going on with Robert Johnston there, the 33 machine, and he may be racing a bit further down the order, but he's still got playmates, and in particular I think that's Phil Harris behind him. And so Robert Johnston, the number 33 car, 1999 Van Diemen. No, it's Phil Harris, actually, isn't it? 103, who locked up and nearly ran into the back of him there, into the Crossley chicane. The 103 car then of Phil Harris not able to get through. That's another 1989 Mondial. So racing a car that is significantly younger and in fact driving past it on the straight. That was interesting. So maybe an issue of some sort there for Robert Johnston, because as we saw, it wasn't a great exit from Phil Harris from the previous corner. And yet he was still able to drive alongside. It could have just been a missed gear again. That is easy to do with these gearboxes, but he's fighting back now is Johnston to the outside line into the first corner. There is your race leader, by the way, Ivan McCulloch, who's now starting to get away from David McCulloch and Alan Davidson. You can see them just about in the distance, still scrapping away over second place. It is, I think, still David McCulloch in front. They're going through. They're on to what I believe is the final lap of the race. Yes, it is. So one more lap to go in this one. And Ivan McCulloch now looking for a fairly secure double race victory this weekend. The double here back in June as well on his first appearance in the championship, so it's a pretty good hit rate. This 4 race victories from 6 appearances this year. If he had done the full season, he would definitely have been a title contender, but Ivan McCulloch, whenever he does appear in the Dawson Wam Northern Ireland Formula Ford 1600 Championship, tends to be one of the pace setters. That's been the case this weekend. A very closely fought race 1 victory, but this one has been rather handed to him, I think, because of the championship contenders being so busy battling with each other behind him, and they're still battling away. Look, because Alan Davidson has not given up hopes here of getting ahead of David McCulloch for second place. They're side by side down to the hairpin for the final time. And David McCulloch on the inside line is going to try and force Davidson out wide. That looked like he was getting very close indeed. Out to the hairpin though comes Ivan McCulloch, and he is about to see the checkered flag for the 2nd time this weekend and the 4th time this season in the Dawson Wam Northern Ireland Formula Ford 1600 Championship. David McCulloch hangs on to 2nd place and extends his championship margin over 3rd place finisher Alan Davidson. Then it will be the Shanes, and is it still going to be Brian Harty ahead? Yes, it is. But with Sean Hines behind him and no sign of Richard Carney. So what happened to Richard there in the closing stages? Well, it is Ivan McCulloch from David McCulloch and Alan Davidson your top 3, then Alan McBurney and David Nicol, Henry Campbell, Rob Johnston and Phil Harris to round out the top 8 Formula Ford finishers. Brian Harty and Sean Hines the top 2 in the Shanes, ahead of McLaughlin and Carney down to 4th after a late drama. Derek Roddy and Ray McKenna round out the runners. Ivor, another win. You're getting used to this today. You've been a busy boy this weekend, haven't you, racing in the Nationals as well. Has that helped you now in these Dawson Wam races? It clearly seems to have done.
Well, it's given us a bit more time to get the car set up. We don't really do any testing, so we just arrive and drive, you know, so it's given us a bit of a chance to work on the car a bit more, and we get the car really sorted for the last race. So.
Even so, you weren't far away from these two, were you? They've been a thorn in your side all day.
Yeah, they've been a thorn in my side all day, but my gearbox, the last 5 laps there, 3rd gear started to seize up, so I think we have a bit of money to spend now.
Oh, it was worth it. It brought you to a victory in the Irish and the National this weekend. A good weekend all round, I think.
Yeah, good weekend all round.
Well, it's another McCulloch family affair on the podium here. A 1-2 finish once again. You're the wrong side of that 1-2, I'm sure you'll say, but not bad, eh?
No, I'm happy enough. At least I've got a couple more points in the bag there, so I have, and I shouldn't be far off now. Maybe, hopefully, finishing the championship off. If, I don't know, maybe 1 point or 2 points in the next race should sort of get me it. So, hopefully, anyway. But no, it was a good race. Alan definitely gave me a run for my money anyway, so he did. I actually thought I was actually going to get Ivor at a point through the middle of the race. My tyres started to come in a bit better and has started to go off, and I caught up on him, but then Alan caught up on me at the same time. I had to defend. Then the last 7 laps or that there, and let Ivor get a bit of a break, so it did. So all in all, happy enough for the day anyway.
Well done on the 2 second places, and fingers crossed if the title's not already wrapped up, that'll happen next time.
Thanks very much.
Well, Alan, another 3rd place finish, but you once again were giving these two a run for their money there.
Aye, we gave everything we got now, and they just had that wee bit on us, but yeah, it was a close race. Very close.
And I mean, your car is, over 10 years older than theirs as well, so it's quite impressive really the way that it is able to keep up. It shows that Formula 4 cars really haven't changed much.
No, the car's 1989, it's going as good as any of the new cars out there, so be a good while before we change it for a newer one yet, but yeah, it was a good weekend, we enjoyed it, so
Good stuff. Well done on 2 podium places and some good points.
Okay, thank you.